We at the Kensington thank you for joining our kickoff event for Wellness Wednesday, The Power of Yoga with instructor Katie Courlander. I'm Alexandra Zeidman, Sales and Marketing for the Kensington Reston, an assisted living and memory care community coming to the Reston area in early 2021. We hope you enjoy today's class and that you will join us for future Wellness Wednesdays as we support you finding calm, boosting happiness, and living your best life as a caregiver. And now, Katie Courlander for your yoga class.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to your yoga class. Today's class is a gentle class that's going to really just stretch and open up the entire body, and hopefully we will release some tension and stress along the way. So as you can see from the previous screen, if you do have a towel, a blanket, or a pillow, that can come in handy anytime that we're on our knees. You can slide it underneath of your knees for some extra cushion and support. So we are going to start today in a comfortable seat. You can see I am in easy seat with my legs crossed, but you can take a different position that's more comfortable for you if you would like. And if you feel comfortable, let your eyes close. Take your hands onto your thighs or your knees. And we'll start with just a little bit of breathing, letting the day go, letting whatever happened yesterday or this weekend or last week kind of slip away for the next hour. Take a deep breath in through your nose and open your mouth to exhale. Nice. Let's do two more like that. Inhale through your nose. Slow exhale. One more. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let your worries, your stress, your tension melt away with the breath. Let your lips come to close and start to breathe in and out through your nose. Bring your awareness inside of your body. Notice your sits bones grounded to your yoga mat, to the earth. Sit up nice and tall. Draw the pit of your belly in toward your spine. And bring your shoulders right over your hips. Feel the space that you're creating in your body, not only from your posture, but from these deep breaths. You can let your hands rest here, or you can take them to touch right in front of your heart. And I like to set an intention before practice. So I'm going to offer up the intention of finding some peace, letting go of worry. But if there is something else that speaks to you, a mantra or even a dedication, if you'd like to send this practice and this energy to someone who needs some extra love, then bring that person to mind now. Let's take a deep breath in together. Once more, exhale through your mouth. Let your hands come back down to rest on your thighs. Blink your eyes open if they've been closed. On your inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Take a big stretch. Reach through your fingertips. Exhale, bend your elbows. Interlace your fingers and take your open palms just behind your head. Elbows stay out wide. Now breathe in. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Let your hands just rest on the back of your head, adding a little gravity to this neck stretch. But you're still sitting up nice and tall. Deep breath in. And slowly exhale tension. One more, breathe in. And exhale all of your breath. Release your hands down to your side. Look forward, take your chin parallel to the earth. Walk your left fingertips out to the left side of your mat. Plant your hand down. Reach up and over with your right arm. Take a side stretch. Now keep pressing your right sit bone down to the earth so that you're nice and grounded. You'll find even more length from the right hip crease all the way up through the side body to your fingertips. Breath in and out. Inhale, move yourself back through center. Take your right hand down to the mat and reach up and over with your left arm. Long inhale. And sigh it out. As you breathe in, come back through center. Bring your hands to either side. Now take your hands to your knees. We're going to take some seated hip circles. So you choose which direction you want to move in. Bottom stays planted to the ground. Just move your torso around and around like you're stirring a big pot. Take one more circle and then switch the direction. And if you want to, you can pull your shoulders into this and make this movement really exaggerated. Just listen to your body and do what feels right for you today. One more time around, and then settle back in the center. One more set of poses here on our seat. Inhale, lift your arms up. And as you exhale, twist to the left side of the room. Take your right hand to your left knee and take your left hand behind you. Inhale, press down through your seat and reach up through your head. And exhale, twist. This twist does not need to be very deep. Take a breath in. Twist. One more time, deep breath in, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little bit further. Inhale, release out of your twist, come back to center, take both arms up to the sky. And let's take that to the opposite side of the room. Left hand to your right knee. Sit up tall as you breathe in and twist as you breathe out. We'll take two more breaths here. You can look where it's comfortable for you. So that might be down toward your mat. It might be at the side of the room, or you could even turn your head and try to see the wall behind you. Breathe in, come back to center, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your palms down in front of your heart. Meet me on your hands and knees in tabletop position. So this is where that towel or blanket might come in handy. If you have sensitive knees, then just put it right here, put your knees on top of it, and you'll feel some instant relief. Untuck your toes and walk your knees wide on your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. We'll find child's pose. Bring your hips back to your heels and walk your hands forward on the mat. So this is going to be an active stretch. Walk your fingers as far as they'll go. And then take your forehead and rest it right down on the ground or on a pillow. As you're here in child's pose, imagine your ribs lifting up to the ceiling with every breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine your body sinking down into the floor. Once more, breathe in. Let everything go. Inhale to look forward. Shift yourself back into that tabletop. And this time we'll stack all the joints. Take your wrists underneath of your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. Cow and cat to get some movement through our spine. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your heart forward. Your tailbone lifts behind you and look forward. This is cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Push your hands into the earth. Tuck your tailbone and roll your spine. Drop your head to look to your thighs. Moving with your breath. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your heart forward, look forward. Exhale, round your spine, drop your head to look back toward your legs. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, pull your heart forward. Exhale, cat. Round your spine and push the ground away from you. Nice. Come back into a neutral tabletop. So slightly tuck your tailbone under and then draw the pit of your belly in and up. This will give you a nice flat back. Gaze down at your mat. Send your right leg behind you. Tuck your toes. We'll get a nice calf stretch here. Press back through your heels. You should really feel this on the back side of your right leg. Breathe in. And breathe out. As you inhale, now shift your weight to your hands and lift your right foot up off of the ground. This is going to take a little bit of core strength. Bend your knee and start to take hip circles. So just draw your knee either direction. This is about when you might be hearing some pops and cracks. That's okay. Feels good, I think. And then switch direction. One more circle. Take your knee back underneath of you and onto the ground tabletop. Bring your left foot behind you, tuck your toes, press back through your heels. Find that long calf stretch. Long lines from your heel up to the crown of your head. Breathe in. And exhale. Good. Now shift your weight forward. Pick your left foot up, bend the knee, and take hip circles on this side. Remember to breathe as you are moving. Try not to hold your breath at any time during your practice. You want to keep the breath moving so you can keep finding space in your body, space that you didn't have before. One more circle, and then come back to your tabletop. Sit back on your heels for a moment. Let's stretch out the wrists. Take your hands in front of you. Take your right palm, flex it. Left hand will hold onto your fingers and just gently pull the hand back to you. Good. Now take it the other way. Drop your fingers toward the floor and use your left hand to gently pull your fingers toward your body. So we're on our hands a lot in yoga. It's always nice to stretch out the wrists. The wrists and the ankles we forget about a lot of times, I think. Let's switch hands. Flip your left fingers up. And then release, point your fingers down and pull them toward your body. Good, release. You can kind of wiggle it out, take some circles with your wrists. And then maybe back in tabletop. So that child's pose that we did before, toes together, knees wide, hips back, this is a resting pose. So anytime during class, you can come there if you need to catch your breath. Walk your hands forward slightly. Tuck your toes under. We're gonna find downward facing dog. Lift your hips high and you can keep your knees bent. Look down at the mat, then start to pedal out your feet. Bend one knee and then the other. We call this walking the dog. Remember your breath. Start to come back into stillness in downward facing dog. Take a peek at your hands. Make sure that your fingers are spread wide to give yourself a wider base. Grip down through your forefinger and your thumb and start to spin your inner elbows toward one another. Take one more breath in. Bend your knees and walk your hands all the way back to the back of your mat. Come into a forward fold, knees bent. You can rest your chest on your thighs and relax your head. Look for the wall behind you. Keep breathing here and shift the weight forward into the balls of your feet. Now, if you feel good and stable, you can hold on to opposite elbows. This will give you an even deeper stretch along the back side of your body. Breathe in and let it all go. Breathe in peace Breathe out worries. One more breath here. Open mouth, exhale. If you have your elbows, release them down. Inhale, look forward and walk your hands up to either your calf or your shins or the tops of your thighs. Straighten your legs and find a flat back. Breathe in. Exhale, release and fold down. You can bend your knees as you go. Now inhale, press through your feet and roll slowly all the way to standing. You're going to stack each vertebra as you come up and let your head be the very, very last thing to rise. Good, I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to find some more movement of the spine here in a standing position. So take your feet underneath of your hips. Press down into all four corners that you feel stable. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and release your pointer finger and your thumb. So you kind of got like a Charlie's Angels thing going on. Reach up. Exhale, take a side bend to the right. As you bend, press into your left foot. Exhale, see if you can bend a little bit further. Nice. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale to the left. Breathe in. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale, come back up through center. Release your hands, find cactus arms. So bend your elbows and lean back. Take a little back bend. You can look up to the ceiling. Breath in, come back to center, reach your arms high. And as you exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to your shins or your thighs. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, roll up to standing. Circle your arms all the way up to the sky, draw your belly button to your spine. Take your fingers together, release your pointer finger, exhale, side bend to the right. So we're gonna move through this a few more times. One breath, one movement. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to the left. Breathe into center. Breathe out, bend your elbows, take a back bend. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and fold forward. Halfway lift to look up, flat back. Breathe out and fold forward. Press down through your feet, come all the way up to standing, circle your arms as you go. Interlace the fingers, release the pointer fingers, exhale, bend to the right. This is the last time. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend your elbows, lean back. Inhale, up. Exhale, big fold forward, nice. Breath in, halfway lift. Fold forward. This time, walk your hands all the way forward like you're bear walking into a high plank or the top of a push-up. Take your shoulders over your wrists, and if this is a lot of work here, then lower your knees down to the mat. Draw the navel to the spine, breathe in. Exhale, bend your elbows, everyone lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, press into the tops of your feet. Roll the shoulders back and lift your heart, baby cobra. Exhale, lower your chest back down to the ground. Inhale, lift your heart, strengthening the back as you go. Exhale, lower down. We'll take that one more time, breath in, lift up. See if you can take some of the weight out of your hands. Maybe even you lift your hands up off of the ground. Use the full strength of your back. Inhale. And slowly lower back down. Nice. Plant your hands by your ribs. Press up into your tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Hips come high, knees can stay bent. And if you have space in your hamstrings, then you can start to straighten your legs and press your heels closer to the mat. Breath in and breath out. Good. Look forward to your hands this time. Walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat until you come into a forward fold. Relax your head and your neck. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Exhale, hinge forward. Nice and slow, roll all the way up to standing. Circle your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down in front of your heart. All right, ground down through your left foot and take a big step back with your right, maybe about 3 feet. Bend into your left knee, warrior one. So your hands can come onto your hips here as we rotate hips toward the front of the room. Your back heel is down. Glue the outer edge of your right foot to the mat. From here, your hands can stay at your heart, or you can reach them up to the sky. Big breath in and exhale. Building some strength here in this pose, draw your belly button into your spine. Breathe in. Exhale. Nice. Now as you inhale, lift your back heel up so you come onto the ball of your back foot in a high lunge. Just here for a moment. Now spin the back heel down. This is going to make your body open up to the long edge of your mat for warrior two. So still have that deep bend in the front knee. You might need to slide your back foot back if you feel like your stance is a little too short. Press again into the outer edge of that back foot, and then take your gaze over your front fingertips. Breathe in and out. Remember that every challenge is only temporary. Take a breath in and slowly release. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reach up and back. Your right hand comes to your back thigh, left arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, come back into warrior two, torso straightens out. Inhale, now press into your left leg and straighten the front leg. Ooh, that feels nice. Reach forward with your left hand, triangle pose. Your left hand is going to come down. It can rest on your thigh or your shin, and then take your right arm up to the sky. Now you can turn and look up to your fingers, but if that puts some strain in your neck, a lot of us carry tension up here in the shoulders and the neck, then you can turn and look down at the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Inhale, slowly rise. Extend your arms to the front and back of the room. Bend again into that left knee. And then cartwheel your hands toward the front of the mat. As you do this, spin onto the ball of your back foot. So we're coming down into a low lunge. So you have the option to stay right here with your back leg lifted, or you can lower your knee down onto the mat or onto your towel or blanket. Take a breath, bring your heart forward. Exhale. Plant your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, lift your left arm and twist. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, take your left hand down to the ground. If your knee is lifted, now bring the knee back to the ground. Shift your hips back and slide your left foot behind you so you come back into tabletop. Bring your toes to touch, knees wide, child's pose, hips to your heels. We'll take 3 breaths here. Come back to a steady breath. And if you find your mind wandering, then come back to the breath. Just focus. Inhale, exhale. Be right here, an observer of your body. Beautiful. Pick your head up, look forward. As you inhale, shift back onto all fours, tabletop. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. We have to do all of that again on the opposite side. Breathe in and let it go. Exhale. Take your gaze forward and walk your feet up to your hands. Forward fold, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Slowly rise. Circle your arms up. Exhale, palms to your heart. So this time, plant down through your right foot and take that big step back with your left. Warrior one. Again, your hands can stay here at your heart. You can take them to your hips or up to the sky, up to you. If you're feeling a little hot, then spark your fingers. This will let heat escape out of your hands. Breathe in. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Good, another deep breath in. And out. Inhale, lift the back heel, come into that lunge for just a moment, and then pivot and lower your heel down to the earth. So I'm going to turn and face the opposite direction so you can see me. So that back heel is down to the ground, warrior two. Gaze out over your front fingers. Deep bend in your right knee. Breathe in. See if you can sink even a little bit lower. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reach up, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, preparing for triangle pose. Reach forward with your right arm, and then take that hand down anywhere on your leg or your ankle. Remember to find a gaze that works for you, up, down, or somewhere in the middle. Breathe into the inner thigh where you're feeling the sensation. And let that breath go. Once more, inhale. Breathe out. Inhale, come all the way back up, tee out your arms, bend back into your right knee. And then we're gonna cartwheel the hands down again to frame your foot. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot, and we'll take that lunge. Your left hand plants this time. Inhale, lift your right arm. And you have that option if you'd like to lower the back knee to the ground. Big breath in. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground. If your knee is lifted, then take it down. We'll slide back into tabletop and then again into child's pose, hips back to your heels. Take 2 more breaths. Observe your body, any sensations that you're feeling. And try not to attach labels to them, but instead just notice how you feel. Inhale, come back up into your tabletop. Then sit off onto your bottom, either direction. Take your legs out in front of you. Both legs in front of you, flex your feet so your toes point up to the sky. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward. You don't have to go very far. Go as far as you can with a flat back, and then relax your hands down to your legs. From here, you can round the upper back and drop your head, folding over your legs. If this does feel like some straining in the backs of your legs, then bend your knees a little bit. You can even take your towel or a pillow and place it underneath of your knees. There's no yoga law that says that your knees need to be straight, that your legs need to be straight. So always do what works for your body and what feels right. Good. As you breathe in, slowly roll back up to your seat. Bend your right knee. Take the sole of your foot into the inside of your left leg. Reach up through your arms. And exhale, we'll take that fold out over the left leg. Again, let your hands fall wherever they can reach. And tuck your chin. Inhale, start to look up, slowly come back upright, and we'll switch legs. Extend your right, bend the left knee, foot comes to the inner thigh. Reach up through your arms, sit up tall. Hinge at your hips to fold forward. Feeling that sensation along the back of your left leg, maybe even up into your back. One more breath. Good, and slowly roll up to a seat. We're going to take Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. It looks kind of like a butterfly. So we'll bend both knees, take the soles of your feet together to touch. And you can choose, with your heels in closer to your body, you're going to feel the stretch more in the inner hips and the groin. Or you can take your heels away from you, make more of a diamond shape, and then you'll feel this more in your hamstrings. So decide what you want today. Take your hands onto your feet. This might be enough sensation for you right here, or you can hinge at your hips and begin to fold forward. Breathe in peace. Exhale worries. Long inhale. And let everything go. Good. Slowly come back up if you took the fold. Bring your hands to either side of your thighs and gently draw your knees closer together so they point up to the ceiling. Plant your feet on the ground. Take your hands just behind your hips. Feet a little bit wider than your hips. And then we'll windshield wiper back and forth. Getting a little bit of relief in the hips. And start to come back to stillness and scoot yourself forward on your mat, if you're on a mat or a towel, so that when you extend your legs, your heels reach the top edge of that mat or towel. And then roll back onto your back. Bend your knees again. And we'll take a bridge pose. So walk your feet in as close to your body as you can. Hug your inner thighs together. We're going to do this 2 times. So you want to think like you have a block or something in between your thighs, squeezing that block. Take your hands beside your body, press down through your feet, lift your hips up. Good. Keep looking up toward the ceiling if you can. And if you want to take this a little bit deeper, then you can one at a time shift your shoulders underneath of your back. Maybe even interlace your palms beneath you. Press your hands and your forearms down to the ground. This is going to give you more support and a firm base. Press the feet down, lift your hips. If you have your hands together, release them and slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra until your low back makes connection to the ground. Take one breath. And sigh it out. And we'll take that again. Inhale, press down through your feet, lift your hips. Again, hands can stay here, or you can bring them underneath of you. So as you press down through your feet and lift up through your hips, you'll notice this stretching here in the hip flexors, as well as probably more noticeably the back bend that you're creating in the low back. One more inhale. And slowly, slowly release all the way back down to the ground. Step your feet wide on your mat. Let's find a little bit of relief. Take your knees to touch. And this will press that low back, your lumbar spine down into the ground. So you can feel it neutralizing after those back bends. Take one palm, rest on your belly, one palm over your heart. Take a soft gaze or close your eyes and just notice your breath. Notice the pattern of your breath. Is it slow? Is it quick? Is it ragged or smooth? Again, no judgment, no labels, just observe. Open your eyes, release your hands, heel toe your feet until they are in line with your hips. Reclining figure four pose, take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. I'm gonna give you a few options here. So this might be enough for you. You can stay right here. If you want to go deeper, then pick your left foot up off of the ground. Even deeper, you'll notice that there's this little 4 symbol with your legs. So you can take your hands through the holes and interlace behind your thigh. Noticing this stretch and sensation along the outer hip on your right side. Keep both of your feet flexed. Long inhale. Slow exhale. Good. One more breath in. And breath out. Release your left foot down to the mat. And slide your right leg over the left, so like you're crossing your legs. From here, we'll twist to the left side of the room. So you can open your arms out into a T or cactus your arms. And then lower your knees toward the left side of the room. It's fine if they don't touch the floor. You want to keep both of your shoulder blades connected down to the mat. And then look any direction. A deeper twist will be looking in the opposite direction of your knees. And if this doesn't feel good, if you feel pinching in your hip, then uncross your legs and you can have your thighs just stacked one on top of the other. Slowly inhale and lift your legs back through center. Uncross your legs. We'll take reclining figure four to the opposite side. Left ankle crosses over your right thigh. Option 1, stay right here. Option 2, lift your right foot. Option 3, take your hands behind your right thigh. If both feet are lifted, then both feet are flexed. Actively press your left knee away from your body and feel that stretch become even more pronounced. Release your thigh. If you have it, take your right foot back to the ground. Slide your left leg across your legs and lower both of your knees to the right for your twist. Long breath in. Slowly release your breath. Begin to lift both of your knees back toward the ceiling. Uncross your legs. Make sure your hips are touching the ground and hug both knees into your body. Take your hands onto your shins and pull your knees toward your chest. Now you can rock side to side if that feels good in your body. If not, then you can just stay here and make yourself a little ball. From here, come into happy baby pose. Lift your feet up to the sky. And take your hands either onto your calves, ankles, or the outsides of your feet. Bend your knees and draw the knees toward the armpits. And one last hip stretch here. And again, you can rock side to side. Rocking side to side is called happy baby. And if you stay still, it's called dead bug. But I call them both happy baby because it's happier. Take one more breath in. Lower your heels back toward your body. Release your feet. Bring them down to the mat. If there's any last little bit of movement that you need, then please take that movement now. And then we're going to move into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So to come into Shavasana, you'll extend your legs long on your mat. Take your arms beside you, palms face up. Release your breath, and with it, all of your tension. Let your feet fall open. Let your eyes close. Again, breathe in. Any control that you have over your body or your breath, let it go. Notice your body becoming heavy. And take comfort in the fact that the earth is here to hold you up. Your pillows, your blankets, anything that you want to support you here under your knees. Or if you're chilly, you can drape your towel or blanket over top of you. But remember that every challenge has an end. And here you have nothing left to do but rest. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly. And simply be here with your body, with your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. find some small movement. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Gently rock your head from side to side. And reach your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Point through your toes. When you feel ready, bend your knees and rock over onto your side. Pause here for just a moment, coming back to the space. And when you feel ready, press yourself all the way up. Find that comfortable seat that you began class in. Your eyes can stay closed, or you can take a soft gaze looking down toward the ground. Take one long breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and let everything go. Bring your palms to touch in front of your heart. Return to your intention. Send yourself some gratitude for taking this time for yourself, for your body, your mind, your health. I thank you so much for joining us today for Wellness Wednesday. Namaste.
Thank you, Katie, for that class. Katie and I will be available after class for any questions that you may have regarding the class or for questions about Kensington Reston. You can ask a question in the Q&A box or in the chat box. We did have a guest who had a question while we were in midst of the class. The viewer asked, would you mind giving some helpful tips on simple morning stretches to prepare for the day and warm up the body?
Yes, so a lot of the stuff that we did at the beginning of class today is what I like to do in the morning. When I get up, I'm sure you're the same. There's a lot of stiffness along the spine and the neck and the shoulders, especially depending on how we sleep. So what I like to do is some neck stretches like that. We had our neck down or going to the side, even some rolls and some shoulder rolls. That can really help to release tension. Another thing that I love to do is just those forward folds that we were doing. And in the morning, you're probably going to be somewhere like here, and that is fine, but bend your knees, give yourself time so that your body can kind of wake up. But lots of those forward folds, side stretches, and cows and cats are really, really nice. That when you come onto your hands and knees and move through flexion and extension of your spine. Those are all just ways to kind of get your body moving and start to get it lubricated and ready for the day.
We had another listener who asked if the recordings will be available for later viewing. The answer is yes. You can actually receive any of our yoga classes on our Kensington Connect page, which I will be happy to follow up with afterwards and give you the link to that. But for now, it's www.kensingtonreston.com. And at the top of your screen, you will see the Connect link. And we will be linking this yoga class to the Connect page. So we hope you enjoy it. And if there's any other questions, we will be around and available to answer. Another participant asked if these will be available weekly. We have not finally concluded that, but we will be sending out any information to our email list in regards to whether we will be providing these weekly or not. If it is something that you would like to see weekly, please let us know and we will look into doing that. Our next Wellness Wednesday will be August 4th and we will be sending out information on what that will include. Thank you for joining us.